the director for our Tanzania Investment Center from mainland and from Zanzibar. All protocols observed. So may I start with the introduction part of the livestock sector. The livestock sector is a major economic activity in our country. At least 2.2 million households of Tanzania, that is 35%, contributing to production of 800,000 tons of meat and 3.6 billion liters of milk, but again 5.5 billion eggs, 14.1 million pieces of hides and skins as per 2023. Overall, the livestock products contribute to per capita consumption of 15 kilograms of meat and 62 liters of milk and 106 eggs per year, against the respective recommended rates of 50 kilograms of meat per person, 200 liters of milk per person, and 300 pieces of eggs per person per year. In addition, our export value with regard to the livestock sector stands at 14.7 thousand tons of meat and 65,000 kilograms of milk and 800,000 pieces of hides and skins. Together, this makes 61.4 million US dollars and 435,000 US dollars and 2.4 million US dollars respectively. So here you can see the potential that we have regarding to the investment opportunities. And now let me talk of these potential that we have in our livestock sector. As you can see, we are endowed with the various potentials suitable for a investment, and among them are the diverse ecological zones that support production of different types of livestock. Example, the southern highland of our country favors the dairy production, and the central and lake zones favors beef, cattle, and goats, while the northern highlands beef, cattle, and sheep. And as I said before, we have the big population of animals here in Tanzania. Though the production, you can see, we have a big gap from the recommendations of FAO if you compare to the consumption at the local market or domestic. But again, you can see the export opportunity that we have. So this calls for more investment, and that means if you put your money, you are assured of having back those money, and you will be having more of the benefits. So number 3, availability of arable land that can support pasture, seed, and pasture production. The 75% cost of production in animals from these feed resources. So we are seriously looking after the investment for feed resource production. For instance, pasture commercial production, and this will mitigate even the climate issues that we are facing every year for losing our cattle, thousands of them. So if we have more of the investment in commercial pasture production, we think this may combat the problem that we are facing every year during the dry season. But again, as I said before, if you go to the poultry sector, you can see the cost of production is higher because of the feed resources. So more of investment in yellow maize, more of investment in soya beans are needed so that to fill this gap that we are facing each and every year. Yesterday, Honorable Minister Bashe of Agriculture was speaking to the audience, and actually he gave the evidence that every year we from the poultry sector, from the livestock, we are asking the agricultural minister to give us a portion of maize, so to fill the gap for our producers of poultry. So this is a big opportunity that we are posing for more investment, and the land is there from we government, but again, there are land from our villages, the TICs, and every government institution as well. Number 4, we have already available market of livestock and livestock products in Tanzania with a human population of 61 million. Regional market in East Africa and SADC and African Continental Free Trade Area with a human population of more than 1.4 billion. We have another opportunities. We have improved and conducive business environment. You can see in the country, by waiving some of the taxes, fees, and non-tariff barriers in trade of livestock and livestock products. If someone want to bring breeds from outside to Tanzania, previously we were charging some amounts, but nowadays from our Department of Veterinary Services, we waived it. So you're only asking for a permit, and then you bring your breeds to Tanzania. But again, increasing growing of financial services, including insurance services that has been extended to livestock industry, and the presence of conducive and stable political environment, and the potential of high number of human capital, including youths and women. We have a big number of youths and women, and actually our population is a young population, according to the census that we had recently. You can see this is another opportunity that we have in the livestock sector. And to prove this, we have the BBT program, which is going on, and the youths, every youth in the country is looking for this opportunity. And we government, we have already put aside about 20 billion Tanzania shillings in this financial year. And these 20 billion Tanzania shillings equivalent to about 8.7 million US dollars. We put it in a different incubation centers to capacitate for capacity building of our youths, women, and men. We have some interventions and again opportunities in livestock sector. One is through our livestock sector transformation plan, LSTP. You can find it everywhere. If you Google, you can see it in your computers or elsewhere, which encompasses 7 key areas as follows. One is improving animal breeds. We are seriously looking after investment in animal breeds. Here in Tanzania, our stakeholders, they are buying better breeds from abroad, mainly South Africa, Kenya, and some other parts of our African continent. And some of the stakeholders are right here. They usually spend a lot of money from South Africa. One bull can be even 14 million Tanzania shillings. So this is about maybe 4,000 US dollars taking from South Africa to Tanzania. But this is a big opportunity as we want to make our breed better. So if someone is interested, we invite, and our doors are widely open for anyone to come and invest with us for improving our breeds. But another opportunity that we are looking for interventions is improving pasture and water by establishing commercial farms of pasture and pasture seed production. As I spoke before, we mainly see in Tanzania, maize are moving from one part of our country to some other part of our country and even beyond our borders. So we think this can even be for animal feeds. We want to see the forages, the hays, moving from one part of our country to the other part of our country in need to save our animals dying for because of the feed. So again, this is another opportunity, and we in government, we are ready. We have the land belongs to government company known as National Ranching Company, about 600,000 hectares all around our country. And again, we have livestock multiplication units. These again have a land of about thousands of them. We invite for more investment. You bring your idea, we look after it. If we see it is viable, then we can do something together. And number 3 is strengthening animal health system through vaccination campaigns and control of ticks and tick-borne diseases. You see here we have another opportunity, and now we are starting the massive campaign of our animals. Up to now, for the pastoralists, we have only 20% a vaccination campaign, but we think we have to take it more. And to start with, we have about 5 animal diseases that we are looking for to vaccinate our animals, like foot and mouth diseases and others like brucellosis and some other diseases. So livestock products contribute to improving quality of the diet, and this is, we talk of nutrition, like enhancing extension services by equipping extension officers with extension kits and transportation, research and training, value addition of livestock products, creating enabling environment for business and investment. And here we have the best private sector desk in our ministry. This is to facilitate if anyone wants a connection, have the questions, before you come to us, maybe queuing to see the minister or to see the permanent secretary, we have the best private sector desk that can connect you to the financial services and some other parts at TIC or whatever, bankers, whatever you need from the life sector, they can help you and have the solutions of what challenging you are facing. To finalize, the livestock sector is mainstreaming employment opportunities agenda through engagement of youths and women through a program known as Building a Better Tomorrow through livestock and fisheries entrepreneurship. That is BBT Live. This is a flagship project of our Excellency President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan. And as I said before, we put aside about 20 billion Tanzania shillings, but we want to take it, reach more villages, more of our districts and regions in our country. So thousands of young women and young men should be taken into the program. And here we're asking for more fund, more investment from development partners, from the private sector, from elsewhere to cooperate with us. So to make sure that the program reach out as many young men and women as possible. Yes, lastly, the linkage between the agriculture sector, that is, we in the livestock and crops. As I said before, the feed resources for livestock and fish are obtained from crop production. And we in livestock, again, we produce manure. And this is very important for fertilizing our soil and improve crop production. So the use of food-based approach in the prevention of malnutrition is one of top global priorities. Animal source foods have scientifically proven to have the best quality proteins with all essential amino acids needed by the body. They also promote take of other nutrients, thus help in the prevention of malnutrition. And the Global Nutrition Report shows that investing in nutrition is the most cost-effective driver for development and prosperity, as every $1 invested in nutrition generates $16 in return. In conclusion, our country once again feels privileged to host the African Food System Forum in this 2023 year, through which we showcase our potential to feed Africa and the rest of the world. We therefore call for the robust investment.
Ideally, when we're showcasing Tanzania, we would love for others to know about us. So Tanzania is in the room. Please be kind enough to give a chance to our visitors so that they can see it and they can have a great chance to interact with the ministers. The Tanzanians in the room, if you would kindly let your seat to our visitors, that will be great. Prof, I take it back to you. Asante sana.
Asante.
The ones who are investing in the sector, you can stay, but then the Tanzanians in the room, please kindly do that. Thank you so much.
That's good. So we have just finished listening to our minister, and to me, the take-home was the government is ready. The government is ready. Before we proceed, let me take this opportunity to recognize the presence of Honorable Shamata Hamis, the Minister for Agriculture from Zanzibar, who has just joined us. But I'm also informed that Honorable Bashe, our Minister for Agriculture, will be also joining us very soon. So now we are going to start our second session of our event. But now understanding that when we played the video clip this room was not that full. So may I request that our technical team, we are going to go back and play that clip so that all of us who are in this room, we can be really reading from the same page. Then after that, we shall open this event for the general discussion. You are welcome.
Tanzania houses Africa's second largest livestock population, with boundless potential for growth. If you're an investor eager to explore opportunities in livestock, this is the place. Over the next few minutes, we'll delve into 3 key livestock subsectors: beef, dairy, and poultry, uncovering the government's objectives, market data, demand forecasts, and exciting investment potential. Let's start with the beef value chain. In this area, Tanzania's government envisions an increase in commercially oriented production of quality meat for the domestic and external markets. Beef production has been on the rise, but the growing population's demand continues to outstrip supply. The country's combined annual supply is over 800,000 tons. This includes beef, goat, sheep, and chicken meat, as well as pork. Local demand stands at 3 million tons, representing a gap of 2.28 million tons. The local production consumption gap by 2030 is estimated to be 3.7 million tons, 1.7 million for red meat, and 2 million tons for chicken and pork. Tanzania has the potential to export beef to regional markets, but imports, which stand at 423 tons, still play a role in meeting domestic demand. Strategic investments can help Tanzania capture regional markets and enter the global beef export arena. To this end, the government has created a more conducive environment for investment in commercial meat production and processing. Opportunities in the subsector lie in the establishment of private ranches for commercial production of cattle, goats, sheep, and investing via the National Ranching Company, NARCO, through subleasing for commercial production of livestock under the ranching system. Opportunities can also be found in the area of feed looting schemes for cattle to meet the high demand of niche markets for quality beef. Another area is commercial production of goats and sheep to meet high demand for export, investment in modern abattoirs for slaughtering and meat processing, and in commercial production of hay, compounded animal feeds, and vaccines. Let's move on to the dairy subsector. In this area, the government plans to commercialize the dairy industry for increased milk production aimed at reaching the domestic and foreign market needs. In terms of supply and demand, production is gradually increasing, but there's been a persistent gap between supply and growing demand. Annual demand for milk is 318 million litres, while supply stands at 75 million litres. This creates a gap of 242 million litres per year. In 2023, Tanzania exported 212,000 litres of milk and imported about $6.1 million worth of milk products. The government aims to reduce milk imports by doubling the current domestic supply to 150 million litres per year. It is also important to note that the country's formal dairy market is small. Only 5% of milk is sold packaged. The country's milk consumption is just 50 litres per year per person, presenting a need for the market to be developed. To meet burgeoning demand, opportunities exist for the establishment of dairy farms, investment in animal feed production, including pasture cultivation on irrigated lands. There are also opportunities to invest in facilities for processing dairy products and ingredients. Our final focus is on the poultry subsector. The Tanzanian government aims to increase domestic poultry production and reduce import reliance. Poultry production is growing steadily, but local supply often falls short of meeting the high demand. 2020-2021 data shows that the chicken population stood at over 83 million, and annual egg production stood at 4.05 billion eggs in the same year. Data also shows the country produces on average 80,000 tons of poultry meat, with a gap of 258,000 tons. The projected demand is 553 million chickens, 80% of them exotic, and 27 billion eggs by 2050. the Tanzanian government welcomes investments in cold chain logistics infrastructure, poultry production, processing facilities, and value addition of poultry and poultry products. Tanzania stands as a promising destination for agricultural ventures, boasting an array of attractive incentives that support and nurture the growth of the industry. The nation's commitment to fostering agricultural innovation and sustainability is exemplified through a comprehensive set of fiscal and non-fiscal incentives that are designed to encourage investments and drive advancements in the sector. Tanzania offers fiscal incentives on project capital goods exemption. Investors are granted remarkable advantages with a complete exemption on import duties for capital goods, reducing initial financial burdens and facilitating a smooth project launch. Zero import duty on raw materials. Import duties on raw materials are eliminated, stimulating cost-effective production processes and incentivizing value addition in the agricultural sector. Tax relief on deemed capital goods. A noteworthy 75% exemption on import duties for deemed capital goods significantly eases the financial load on businesses, fostering a favorable environment for growth and innovation. Capital allowance for diverse sectors. With a 100% capital allowance for agriculture and 50% for fish farming, businesses have the opportunity to invest and expand their operations while benefiting from reduced tax burdens. Depreciation allowance. Businesses can make use of a depreciation allowance ranging from 37.5% to 5%, optimizing their financial strategies and enabling them to make well-informed investments. Non-fiscal incentives include an automatic immigration quota. During the implementation of projects, an initial allocation of 10 expatriates is provided, with the added benefit of 1 expatriate for every 10 jobs created. This encourages the exchange of expertise and the fostering of a diverse work environment. Unconditional repatriation of funds. The seamless repatriation of funds encompassing net profits, loan repayments, royalties, fees related to foreign technology, and employee remittances amplifies investor confidence and fosters financial fluidity. Tanzania's holistic incentives package reflects its dedication to the growth and advancement of the agricultural sector. By providing a conducive environment for investment, innovation, and sustainable development, Tanzania paves the way for a prosperous future for both domestic and international stakeholders in the agricultural industry. Strategic investors are able to enjoy more incentives than normal investors. The investor can have an opportunity to get over and above the incentives provided to normal investors. The strategic investor can be awarded based on the value of the capital to be invested and the contribution of the project in terms of creating employment opportunities and the economic benefit of the project to the country. To support these policies, we have in place basic infrastructure services such as water, power, roads, rail, air transport, and telecommunications, available at varying degrees. Currently, one is assured of electricity and more generation is on the way. Most key economic centers are connected with good roads and more are being constructed. Telecommunication is adequately available throughout the country. We have revived our airline, Air Tanzania, which provides satisfactory services to various destinations within the country. Tanzania offers promising investment opportunities in the beef, dairy, and poultry value chains. The government's objectives, coupled with market trends and growing demand, create an enticing environment for potential investors. By focusing on quality enhancement, processing infrastructure, and exploring regional markets, you too can contribute to the growth of Tanzania's livestock sector while reaping substantial rewards.
Wow. How was it? Very informative. But before we proceed, let me once again recognize the presence of our Minister for Finance, Honorable Miguru Nchemba, who has just joined us. The government is ready, and the government today is here. But also, we are honored. I said at the beginning that the Honorable Minister for Agriculture, Tabashe, was also going to join us, and he's already with us here. Asanteni sana. So now, the time which we are waiting for, it is with us of also now contributing to this particular event. From the minister's speech, as said, the government is ready, but today the government is here. So if you have been having any problem of meeting Honorable Mwigulu, Honorable Bashe, or ministers from Zanzibar, the permanent secretaries, so today they are all here. So it is your turn. If you want more explanation, if you want maybe to set an appointment, this is your day. So having said so, let me say that we are going to open our discussion. You will put up your hand. Then we have our team with our speakers, so they will be going around. They give you an opportunity. And all the honorable ministers, permanent secretaries, they will be listening. So at the end, we are going to give them an opportunity maybe to respond to some questions or to make very brief remarks before we end this particular event. So the session now is open for the audience. Yes, we have one hand from here. What is the microphone? You introduce yourself, and then you go forward and ask whatever you want to ask. Karibu, madam.
Honorables, gentlemen and ladies, good morning all. My name is Elizabeth Swai. I'm a managing director of a company called AKM Glitters Company Limited, and we are into integrated poultry business and rural development. I have two questions. One question is on, not a question really, I would like to present this to Honorable Mwigulu on finance. We are working with youth and women in Tanzania. So far, we've been able to reach about 1.2 million smallholder farmers working in poultry sector. We have established incubation centers for youth, and these incubation centers, the youth are staying in the incubation center for 6 months and make a profit of between 8 million to 10 million per a group of 10 people. We are looking at scaling up, and we are we are looking at scaling up, and this translates it to money, and we are ready to partner with the government to scale this project in all regions of Tanzania and island. We have 7 regions in the island, and we have 26 regions in Tanzania. So, Honorable, we are pleading with you to scale this project because it will help a lot of people, and the youth will benefit from this and grow their profitable poultry businesses. Secondly, this is on feed production, and this goes to Honorable Bashe. Last year, we met in Kigali, and I pleaded with the investors to invest in production of maize, yellow maize, and soya for animal feeds. And I'm an investor. I invested a plant of worth 3 billion, and I don't have supply of maize. Some few months ago, we requested our minister to request you to at least to portion some amount of maize for our feed milling investments. To date, we did not receive any of the response from you. We plead with you. We need maize. I know maize is for the human, but I also know that animals are needed for nutrition and probably food, added proteins to a human's life. We need food for our animals. And we also plead to the investors. All investors that are investing in agriculture, we are welcoming you to invest in maize, yellow maize, and soya production. We are there to buy. We are the market, and our investments are ready to buy from you.
Thank you very much. But let me request that if you get a microphone, introduce yourself and try to be as brief as possible. Time is not there, our light today. Next. Yes, madam.
Good morning. My name is Jess Kinabo from Sokoine University of Agriculture. I have 2 questions. One, I do understand that livestock industry in this country is privately operated. It's private engagement because livestock keepers are individuals running their business as private investors. So I would like to understand what's the contribution of these livestock keepers as private investors in the industry in general, and what is now missing? What's the gap that we want more investors to get into the industry? My next question is about consumption. We have good policies and a lot of focus and attention on production, but I didn't hear much about how we're going to promote consumption, and there's a gap in terms of consumption. What are the policies for consumption, for nutrition? Thank you so much.
Asante. Madam, can you again come on this side? And it appears that today is really a day for women.
Honorable distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Habari yenu. My name is Jacqueline Pitangasa. I am the Managing Director of Asili Dairy Company Limited. For me, it's more of a comment. If we really need sustainable food systems, and if current education model is producing unemployed youth, then we definitely need to go back to our roots. So today I would strongly urge that we need to focus on investment in our early childhood development. How many hours do we invest in agriculture, in teaching our kids about milk processing from an early hood? How many hours invest in teaching our African model, the Mohammed? Otherwise, thank you so much. As you say it in Swahili, asante sana.
Thank you very much. I'm really looking around to see a man putting up the hand. Yes, we have one here. Thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nawid Mullah. I'm a director of a company called Highland Estates, but I'm also the chairman of the Tanzania Commercial Cattle Society. I have 1 or 2 comments. Firstly, just to congratulate our government on setting up such a successful event so far that has been well organized, and through even yesterday and today, we see everything has been well organized. And secondly, to welcome our guests from all over the country and all over the world to our beautiful country. As the Honorable Minister rightly mentioned, there's ample land and ample population for investment that would be sustainable. We have a large population of youth that ticks a lot of our development partners' goals in terms of youth development. So, karibuni Tanzania. And just 1 or 2 comments for our Honorable Minister of Finance. As feeder operators in Tanzania, we buy a lot of our cattle from auctions. And through our auditing systems, we have a bit of trouble verifying our purchases from auctions or informal sellers in terms of showing that in our books. So if that's something your office can look into and put a more streamlined approach in terms of showcasing that. And secondly, on the funding side, if we can use our stocks as collateral, so we usually have large stocks of cattle, and not necessarily to have that rotation of funds, it would be good to be able to use our stocks as collateral. Karibuni Tanzania, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, madam, we have another speaker there.
Good morning, everybody. Habari zenu. My name is Mary McCarthy. I'm with the Embassy of Ireland here in Tanzania. And I want to thank the panel here and the government of Tanzania for the event, first and foremost, which is wonderful. And what was signalled yesterday was the intention to invest and the increasing investment even in last year's budget in agriculture, which is extremely welcome. My question is, and possibly more for our Honourable Minister of Finance, with this increased investment in agriculture, we hope this will also be mirrored in livestock and fisheries. But I wondered, how will we balance that investment in hard infrastructure that is needed, but also in the area of research and innovation that was flagged by His Excellency the Vice President yesterday? So how can we ensure that we are getting the correct balance between that infrastructure, but also the research and innovation that will climate-proof and future-proof investments in agriculture, livestock and fisheries in Tanzania? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Yes, can you go to the extreme end of this hall?
Thank you so much. My good name is Arafa Madibakari. I'm a founder at Kilimo Hai Input Company Limited from Zanzibar, dealing with making organic fertilizer. I have a request to our Ministry of Agriculture, both in Zanzibar and Tanzania. We produce organic fertilizer by using a manure. Oh, sorry. Sorry. We produce organic fertilizer by using a cow dung and a chicken dung, but we got and a food waste also. But we have a request, if we have a collection point where we can access a food waste or we can access a cow dung waste, so we can produce more and more for us to get more fertilizer for soil and prevent human healthy. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Professor Ekure, you appear like you want to speak something? Not for now. Yes, please.
Thank you so much, Professor Chibunda and others. My name is Filippo Mrutu, the CEO and main director of Mrutu Agro Solution. I'm a youth from Morogoro, Tanzania. I would like to firstly thank you for this opportunity, but I would love to contribute to that. The food system is the lives of the people. So this event should not just stay without implementing what we discuss. We are providing solutions to farmers in doing different things like production of seedlings, but also in the supplying pastures for farmers like seeds. But currently, we look forward to establish the Smart Agripreneurship Innovation Center, where we can integrate different innovations and technologies, but also we wanted to partner with the government and the other people so that we can create the opportunity for showcasing or demonstrating the innovations and then distribute it to other people, and then if we get support so that we can reduce the cost, because also farmers want us to make sure that we help them with the different things. So if we invest in the production within the country, in different, for example, vaccination and all things in place, the cost will be reduced. But also if we invest much in the production of animal feeds within our country, the cost of production will be reduced. Thank you.
Asante sana. Yes. The front bench.
My name is Jameson Daudi Kisigo. I'm the managing director of J&D Polybags Company Limited, based in Iringa. I just want to add just a few comments from the video that we are watching. The video is very good, but at the end, whatever you do, if you don't do good branding, good packaging material, that will add value to everything that you're doing. When you talk about investment, it's about branding. Good packaging material, it adds value to everything that you're doing. If you want to do export, if you have a good packaging material, it will a good branding that will create more investors to come and invest in Tanzania. Thank you very much.
Very much. We are talking of opportunities in livestock subsector, but today we have another opportunity of having this team of ministers, permanent secretaries in the same room. This is a very rare opportunity, so let us make use of it. Yes, you give it to that young man.
Thank you very much. My name is Mr. Papai, a beneficiary of the PBT program of the Ministry of Agriculture, and I'm from Simanjiro, Manyara. As a matter of fact, from the research, the CEO of NMB Bank of Tanzania has been presenting yesterday. 60% of the population of the African population is aged below 25, which is making Africa the youngest continent in the world. And also, as a matter of fact, the CEO also presented to us like 90% of the Tanzania population or Tanzanian people on smartphone, which is like the very low percentage. And in the line of that, I have a question. I'm just curious to know from the Minister of Agriculture and the Minister of Livestock, I'm just curious to know, how is the government going to invest in the area of information and telecommunication in the block farms and also in the areas where the Minister of Agriculture and the Minister of Livestock is going to invest? Thank you very much.
Can you bring that one to my neighbor here?
Thank you very much. My name is Asange Bangu, Acting Managing Director, Warehouse Receipt System. And I would like to allude to what Honorable Minister of Livestock mentioned about Building Better Tomorrow live. And I would want also to comment on my colleague's comment with regard to collateral, using the kettles, the stock as collateral. And here I would want really to see from the Minister of Industries and Trade, there's a possibility of involving Warehouse Receipt System in the Building Better Tomorrow live, as well as the guest house project. So I think there's a vital need for us to sit together with our colleagues so that we also introduce Warehouse Receipt to support cattle keepers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have touched on the cattle, whatever, but we have really heard less on the pasture. Can somebody also touch on that particular aspect? Yes, Professor.
Habari za asubuhi. Mimi naitwa Sinare, Managing Director wa Vetke, at the same time President wa Sakau. Kwanza, I want to support the Minister. Potential ambayo iko kwenye livestock sector ni kubwa sana. We have the market. The Middle East market is huge. And once you have the market, then you can move the sector forward. Umetaja magonjwa. That is one area where we have a lot of challenges. Umetaja feeds. That's another area where we have a lot of challenges. But again, these challenges are opportunities. My question is, when are we going to start implementing the livestock transformation plan? Because we cannot wait. We just cannot wait. Asante sana.
Thank you very much. So there is an endorsement to your question. Yes, please.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Christopher Mageni, and I'm the Managing Director of Mifumo Ranch. My brother just talked what I wanted to say is about feeds. And we have this wonderful opportunity whereby we have the lucrative market of the Middle East, whereby it comes to the goats and meat market. But so as to save time, and I'm happy that we have the Ministry of Agriculture and the Minister of Livestock here, I would like to advise that we have a plan so that we can have proper feed, whereby we can save time and service the market accordingly and timely. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Then your neighbor. Let me finish up from that bench before I move to another direction.
My name is Magembe Makoe. I just want to make a few comments on feed. Feed is very important, very crucial. In fact, here we are, as a colleague mentioned in the first discussion, she said one of the challenges she's facing in the poultry industry is feed. Likewise, for ruminants, we are facing the same problem. And there is a competition between feed for animals and feed for humans. So now we don't have to compete. As far as the minister has assured us that there is a need and there is land planned, so we have to invest. So may I invite investors in the forage production for ruminants and also for poultry. Feed is very important, it's a business, and you can make a lot of money out of it. So guys, please, Mr. Minister, I know your team is very, very good. Now it's very compact, you're working hard on it. Please assure us of the availability of the land. I know Narco has land, you have your LMU farms, you have your holding grounds. At least start with that, so that investors can come and find the available land, which you can avail to them and they start investing. The second opportunity that has not been so much mentioned in this discussion is on leather, the leather industry. I haven't heard of anything, but one of the products that we are wasting, and it's very valuable, is leather. Currently in the country, we see a lot of leather, a lot of hides and skins are being lost, being thrown away just because there is no market. So investors also in this area, please welcome on it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I had expected that he would end by saying, I'm going to put up a leather industry somewhere. Okay, let us go back to the young people. On this side, yes, Madam Wamukam. The mic, yes, please.
Thank you. My name is Gordon Rogoshola. I'm from Kagera region, and I'm representing a 5-people group where most of them are university graduates. We have set to employ ourselves in aquaculture, where our group is Misenya Agri-Aqua. We are dealing with catfish fingerlings production. As we know that catfish fingerlings are highly utilized across Lake Victoria as Nile perch baits. And we find that most of the fishers are fishing catfish and using them as baits. So we find that in most rivers, the catfish are becoming less and are decreasing rapidly. So we came up with a solution of producing catfish fingerlings so that we can save our fish from our natural sources. But find that the problem is one that these fishers use many, many baits. So we find that one boat can take and consume up to 3,000 fingerlings per day. So we find that we are highly required to produce more, but the infrastructures are a little bit complicated. As you know that we just graduated last year, 2022, and our capacity to produce many fingerlings is a little bit less. So I'm calling upon our ministers to support in us so that we can produce more fingerlings and save our fish. But also, we have land, and many youth are just investing much of their time in border. So through investing in us, we believe that we can save many, many youth across our area. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Now it is the turn for the young lady.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. My name is Happiness Kusekwa Henry, graduate from Sokoine University of Agriculture, Bachelor of Science in Range Management. I'm here, a member of the BBT campus of Rita Buhuri. First, I would like to thank the government, the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock for giving us this opportunity of being there at the BBT for life, because they saved us who are unemployed and graduates from the livestock industry. Me, as a graduate of French management, I have one question to the Minister of Fisheries and Livestock. You talk about the pasture and the farms, but you didn't talk about the invasive species which affect the pasture in the livestock. What the government will do with the invasive species? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, the command.
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Revocatus Kimario. I'm the Executive Director of SUGECO. I have two questions. One is regarding to accessing information and data, because for someone to build a business case whereby you can convince financials to give you fund, you must have a business case. And for this case, we sometimes face difficulties to access reliable data and information. Like, for instance, there was an information saying that Tanzania imports about 52,000 metric tons of pork meat. I've been struggling to find out some information from the authorities on the importation, if it is true, who is importing and who sells to who. Because if I get that data, I could stand out and say we have the gap. So is there a room where the government can put a central point for people to access information and data, so that if someone wants to establish business, he can analyze the data and build their business case? That's number one. The second question goes to the Minister of Finance. I'm happy I've been working with youth, but we still see there is a big challenge to access finance. What we see is that youth are there, they may be very ready to work, but accessing finance, and you go to the BOT, for instance, the BOT website, it is still giving the same conditions for our youth who want to access finance, similarly to more who wants to access finance. If you go with that sheet, you ask for the information, they give you the same sheet or the same paper that explains about the conditionalities or the conditions you need to comply to access finance. Now think of a graduate from university who has the same condition with someone who has been in the business for the past 10 years. This is very difficult, and we wish to hear from the Minister of Finance. Is there a room where we can create a special scheme specifically for this group? And probably this could be very good to link up with the BBT initiatives that youth can access finance. I've been struggling to make youth to access finance, and it has been really difficult. Although we managed, but the cost is very expensive.
Asante sana. So now it is the turn for the two ladies.
Asante. My name is Neema Mrema. I'm the team leader for the AgResult Dairy Productivity Challenge project. I have some contribution to the fodder. The project has introduced a fodder incentive to stimulate private investment in fodder production. And as we speak, we have about 13 private companies doing commercial fodder production. And that one, right now, as we speak, there is already production of about more than 5,000 metric tons of fodder to be sold to the smallholder farmers in the coastal area. So this is the kind of heavy investment which has been done by the private sector. And we see that there are also some challenges which I just want to address to the minister to support these private sector who have dared to do the commercial fodder production. One of it is the fodder production is a scale. It's a scale operations, and it needs mechanization. There is very little support these people are getting in terms of mechanization. And when you look at these 13 fodder producers, only 3 are the ones who have done that business before. 10 they've just ventured into that. It's the new business venture.
Asante.
Yeah. Can I finish? Can I finish? Yes. So the other thing is the seeds. I just want to hear from the minister, what's the plan are there to ensure that there are available improved pasture seeds for the commercial production of the fodder. Right now, the feeds are very expensive. We have the ones go all the way to 980,000 shillings per acre. The other one, cost goes all the way to, the lowest is the 54,000 shillings per acre. So you could see that cost is very difficult for anyone to invest. What are the strategies there to ensure these improved seeds are available at affordable cost to stimulate the fodder production? Thank you
very much. Yes, your neighbor.
My name is Fatuma Besta Katula. I'm a Deputy Secretary of Tanzania Women Fish Workers Association. Mimi naomba nizungumzie upande wa sekta ya uvuvi. Sekta ya uvuvi imekuwa ikiwekeza na ikifanya vizuri sana. Lakini pia tumekuwa na changamoto kidogo ambayo imekuwa kwa upande wa aquaculture. Aquaculture, chakula cha samaki kimekuwa kidogo kina gharama kubwa kiasi kwamba hata ule uwekezaji unakuwa ni wa shida. Kwa hiyo tulikuwa tunaomba serikali kama serikali tuone na wawekezaji wengine wanawezaje kutusaidia hili katika swala la uwekezaji katika utengenezaji wa chakula cha samaki. Lakini pia nizungumzie kwa upande wa wanawake na vijana wanawake. Tumekuwa tukifanya processing ya mazao mbalimbali, lakini miundombinu imekuwa ikitengenezwa lakini bado kidogo ni changamoto. Kwa hiyo tulikuwa tunaomba serikali iangalie jinsi gani ambavyo itatusaidia sisi wanawake kuweza kuwekeza vizuri katika masuala ya uchakataji kutoka ziwani mpaka kuja kufika mahali pa kufanyia processing, na tuweze kufanya kitu kikubwa ambacho tunaweza tukafanya hata exporting. Sasa hivi tunafanya vizuri kwa sekta ya hapa nchini, lakini tunatamani tuweze kufika mbali zaidi ili tuweze kutusafirisha mazao yetu nchi za nje na waweze kuona ubora wa bidhaa zetu zinazotengenezwa kutoka Tanzania.
Asante. Yes. Yes. Give it to this man here. He has been having his hand up for a very long time. Karibu.
Kwanza nipende kumshukuru Mungu. Nashukuru kwa nafasi. Mimi la kwanza ni kwa mawaziri wote. Naona Mheshimiwa Migulu ana type, naomba unisikilize. Nimesikia jana 95% ya mbolea Afrika tuna import. Naomba mawaziri wote kwa umoja wenu, kwa sababu ni kwa mara ya kwanza tunaona rais anaweka zaidi ya 200 kwenye wizara ya kilimo kwa upande wa budget. Budget ni kubwa sana kilimo na mifugo, tofauti na miaka iliyopita. Kwa hiyo there is a political will. Sasa tunafanyaje kama Tanzania kwenye upande wa mbolea? Kama huna mbolea ni tatizo. Yani tuna import 95% Afrika nzima. Lakini pia kingine ni kuhusu mazingira. Nalo tunaweza kusaidiana wote, mawaziri wote. Nilikutana na investor Tanzania kwa sababu kama hakuna mazingira salama, no agriculture, no livestock. Nadhani tunakubaliana kwa sababu kilimo kinahitaji mazingira mazuri. Lakini anasema katika kutafuta namna ya kuingiza fedha awekeze Tanzania, kodi ni 40% upande wa carbon credit. Nina mawasiliano yake, wanaitwa Terra, nitawapa mawasiliano yao. Wana mtaji wa kuinvest globally, mabara yote wapo. Sasa tuweke mazingira safi katika uwekezaji kwenye climate change, kwa sababu kunapokuwa na favorable climate tunaweza kufanya kilimo cha kisasa kwa sababu mvua zitanyesha kwa wakati na nini. Then na swali lingine tena, yes, unapokuwa unataka kusaidia vijana ambao wamejiajiri kwenye sekta ya kilimo pamoja na mifugo, bodaboda wanaotubebea maziwa, wanaotubebea nyasi, hawa kwa upande wa dairy peke yake nizungumzie 97% ni informal. Sijui tunaelewana. Kwa hiyo mtu wa benki akija, iwe ni benki ya kilimo, anakwambia wewe you are not bankable. Umekuwa ukiuza maziwa lita 100 kila siku kwa miaka 20, lakini you are not bankable. Sasa serikali inapata ugumu gani kufanya formalization ya sekta? Kwa sababu sisi katika upande wa maziwa tuna sheria inaruhusu kuunda Dairy Development Fund na kwenye mazao vile vile. Tunawezaje kuwasaidia? Naweza kutoa mfano hata kwenye kilimo, Mheshimiwa Basha utasaidia. Naomba kumalizia Mheshimiwa.
Malizia.
Kwamba nauza mboga, nauza mahindi, nauza karanga miaka zaidi ya 20, lakini I'm not bankable. Lakini Taha yuko bankable, sio? Kwa nini? Kwa sababu yuko FOMO. Kwa hiyo FOMO si kwa ajili ya kuisaidia serikali, ni kwa ajili ya kusaidia wananchi. Kwa hiyo ningeomba majibu sahihi, kwa sababu tuna mfano hai kwamba mifuko ya plastiki imewezekana kuondoka. Kwa nini tusifanye kwenye kilimo na mifugo, ili nasi sekta hizi zichangie kikubwa kwenye pato la taifa? Asante sana.
Asante sana. Really, I'm feeling some pain because time is not really on our side, but I can see the entire room is excited. Madam, bring that microphone here, and then I will come back to you, madam. I had made up my mind and I have that disease.
Morning. My name is Ismail Shah Mohammed from Kidunda Ranches. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the government, the effort for this Agrf. It's been very fruitful. We can see more fruits as we go forward. My question goes to the livestock sector. We've got an issue of purchasing livestock in auctions at head price or whatever comes through the mind and not by weight. How do we introduce this? Because we sell from the butcheries based on weight, but we buy based on how it looks and not based on the weight. That is. And the next thing is gone, I think. Okay, the next thing is about breeding. We are looking at improving genetics. What kind of efforts or support do we get from the ministry for the certain companies that are looking at involving outgrowers in improving breed? So we bring, for instance, I'll talk about my company, and I know some of others in our society, TCCS. We bring superior genetics from South Africa, Kenya, and all over. But then what is the programs that are there for us to be able to enable to give the genetics to exterior or outgrowers so that these genetics can spread wider and faster in the region? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now let me finish with this lady. I just taken the microphone out of her hands. Karibu, mama.
Thank you. Asante sana. Let me take this opportunity first let me use Swahili so that for the benefit of all to understand. Naitwa Mariam Mwani, ni mwekezaji mkubwa katika industry ya livestock. Ni mkurugenzi wa machinjio ya kisasa ambayo ndani nafikiri ya mwezi mmoja au miwili tutayafungua. Machinjio hayo yatakuwa na capacity ya kuchinja mbuzi 5,000 kwa siku moja, ng'ombe 1,500 mpaka 2,000. Yako Ruvu. Ninapiga hodi kwa serikali. Nina imani kwamba serikali sasa itakuwa imepata suluhisho ni wapi kwa hawa BBT. Naomba iendelee hata kwa mifugo pia. Soko lipo. Ninafungua soko lipo, ninasema. Nina soko kubwa sana UAE. Soko kubwa sana halina upinzani, lakini ni aina gani ya nyama? Ubora wa nyama yetu. Ninapiga hodi Wizara ya Kilimo. Mr. Bash, unapohamasisha kilimo kama mahindi na nini, ninaomba pia uweke wazi kuhusu kilimo cha mifugo yetu, ili tumsaidie waziri wetu pia, yeye ahamasishe ubora wa nyama, tuhamasishie kuhusu kilimo, kuzalisha majani yaliyo bora, ili wafugaji wetu sihangaike wapi pa kupata mbegu, na elimu pia itolewe sawa na mazao mengine kama priority serikali inavyotoa. nawasilisha.
Asante. Sasa kuna kijana mmoja alikuwa wa kwanza kuja in this room in the morning, and he has started growing pasture, and he told me he has thousands of bales of hay. Where is he? Give him a microphone. I want him to really find a market from this room.
Thank you, moderator.
Yes, 1 minute.
Okay, my name is Rogesian Thomas Injau, and I'm a graduate from Sokoine University, and I'm a founder of a small startup called Haydot Enterprise Limited, and I've managed to secure a land from NARCO thanks to Professor Msofe, the managing director of NARCO and the government. So we have started our project at 2021, and right now we are looking for a scaling. It's 100 hectare of land, which is equivalent to 250, and we are focusing on the production of hay, or particularly Rhodes grass, which is quality hay, and we are also focusing on the production of seeds from the Rhodes grass. So thanks for the opportunity, and I would like to present some of my concerns to the Minister of Livestock, His Honorable Abdallah Ulega, and the Minister of Finance, His Honorable Mwigulu Nchemba. One of my concerns is that on the legal aspect of the project, we have managed to secure the land, the 100 hectare, but there are some of the, I think maybe we can improve on that, the legal aspect. The contract, if we can get a long-term lease up to 10 years, I think it would be the best for our operation. Secondly is on the financial part. It's 100 hectares, but we have started with 25 hectares out of the 100 hectares. As said before, the cost for mechanization, the bush clearing and the tilling of the land and the seeds is too high. So I've managed to, with my investors, we have managed to start with 25 hectares, and we are looking for a scale. So I'm looking for grants or some kind of loan, because I've also managed to work with Sugeko to develop a commercial business plan. So I'm looking forward for that, if I can get grants or a loan.
But how many bales have you produced this year?
Okay, from the 25 acres that we have started with, we have managed to produce 3,500 bales up to this point. And so I'm also looking for a market for my products. Thank you so much.
Where are they?
They are at Ruvu Ranch. That's where the project is.
Ruvu Ranch, not far from here.
Sure. The coastal region, the Pwani Ruvu Ranch.
So thank you very much, honorable ministers and all those who are in this hall. It is very unfortunate that time is always really not the best friend. So we have run out of time. I know many people still wanted to, speak to our ministers and permanent secretaries. So if you can allow me to now start inviting our ministers, not necessarily to respond on what have been raised, but to also make them known that they are with us here. And after that, we shall have a very brief session of taking photo. We have only 2 groups with our honorable ministers. And then we shall bring this event to an end. Permanent Secretary, Professor Riziki Shemdoi, maybe you give me a guidance in terms of protocol. How do I start? I wanted to start with the nearest.
Sorry.
Yes, please.
Professor, you start with the finance minister.
The finance minister. Thank you for that guidance. Mheshimiwa karibu sana. You can speak from where you are seated, or you come here. That's where you are.
Asante sana. I've well noted maswali yote yaliyoelekezwa finance na yale ambayo yanahusiana na finance. Comrade wangu alikuwa anasema Mwigulu ana type. Sasa maswali mengi hivi usipo type utajibuje? Professor Shimdoe alikuwa anatuambia mwanafunzi mbaya sana alikuwa yule ambaye anaingia darasani hana kalamu wala hana daftari. Yeah, but I've well noted all of the questions, and I wish to start with those seriously which need specific attention. Starting with one for audit, I think we'll exchange contacts in the course. Pamoja na hiyo ya taxes alio raise comrade. The time after we end the session. After ending the session, I wish to exchange contacts so that I will assign my specific technical teams who are responsible on those specific items. With the last question from Njau on a grant or the financing, first and foremost, I wish to comment. I'm really excited with the steps the youth have taken on approaching these sectors on their engagement. The best example, Njau and the others from Sokoine University, who have actually stepped in these productive sectors. This has been a long outcry in our country, whereby these sectors, as I said yesterday, were left to be handled by our grandfathers, like the traditional dances. Then if we will now keep witnessing that the young generation stepping in these productive sectors, surely we are going to improve our quality of produce and definitely manage to compete in the market. So to start with this question of cost of financing, together with the first question, which was also directed on cost of access to finance to youth, we had a problem in the recent past on the utilization of whatever window which was availed by the government. I think you will agree with me that in the past we had a bad record on that one. We had grants, the famously known as JK, Mabilionia JK, it just went in vain. We had these 442 in our respective councils. They were also vanishing. We had already dished over 150 billion so far. What has been, collected is less than 30 billion out of over 150. So even the expected seed money for the youth groups and the women has not been achieved. But so far, the government is willing to support the youth. That is why we have started with formalizing the groups, because that was the biggest problem. The groups were just forming themselves just for the sake of going and access funds. And immediately after accessing funds, the group is dissolved. Everybody continues his or her business. So with now, we really need to formalize the groups as what the ministries have been doing, the BBT, for both agriculture and the livestock and fisheries. After formalizing these groups, seriously, we will see the impact of these funds which will be granted to these groups. I think I will convince you that the way it was in the past, it was just dishing money in the running river. If you give groups which are not existing and they just dissolve the groups immediately, it has no impact in the economy. So with now, we are looking forward to have a special window so to respond in those questions which we are dealing with. I mean, we are directed on access to funding by these groups and the youth groups. We are looking forward to have a special window for youth, and I think it will commence sometimes in the next financial year, come July. Her Excellency has already given directives on the President's Office, local governments and regional administration on the proper way. So far we are still collecting those funds, the 442. We are still collecting from the respective councils, and then all those funds will be merged in one window. And we are also looking forward for a chunk of money. I think we are in good discussion with the African Development Bank. We will start with over 200 billion, which will be a seed money for commencing that window. We were thinking if we will really call a youth bank, a youth entrepreneur bank, or it should be a window, it will be known in a course of a few months to come. And that one will solve all these problems. But we have also been setting aside budgets for the youth groups. Last year we set for livestock and agriculture, and I think it came in the image of the BBT. And in livestock and fisheries, we have those which we said the youth groups should be fattening cows around where we have yes, law farms, and yes, and we were missing raw materials, and then I think that one was also a part of initiative of the government to have access to funds by the youth. But we have one serious problem which I should admit: information asymmetry. There is that situation both in the government and in the private sector, that sometimes these funds does not find the real people who are real committed to doing what we have heard here. They just ending in the hands of those who are both the conspiracy, the one who is in the side of the government or in the bank, and the other who are on the side of those artificial groups. We have witnessed those even in these non-performing loans in the banks. It's the result of the same scenario, that once you declare there is a fund, artificial groups are formed, and the artificial officers in the banks or in the sources of finances are also formed. They conspire right away that please manage to have these funds delivered. This is your share and this is our share, without any planned activity prior. And then that one, definitely there will be no repay of the loan or whatever is a grant, there will be no sustainability, and that is the problem. I was even the other day challenging our Attorney General. I said, look, with this issue of information asymmetry, what is happening, even these issues of taxes, there is also that an inherent problem. You know, we came from Ujamaa and the Azimio la Arusha and those issues of what do we call the leaders' ethics and the like, that the leaders should not do what they are telling other people to do. What happens that we have leaders also who does not know what their people are doing. I was challenging the Attorney General that, look, if Hussein is saying we should have block farms for the youth and the like, why can't we have also a block farm for ministers, permanent secretaries, and then we compete with the youth exemplarily? That, look, this is what we are telling you to do. The problem of information asymmetry is happening in the sense that sometimes there will be a fund, then the one who is the one who is responsible for approving, granting, administering, seriously is time unconscious. You might wait just for a permission, to access this and this, and until the season goes off. So we are coordinating to see all these issues handled with the time consciousness, and thanks to the ministers, the sector ministers who have been actually with main officers in our office pushing for these funds to be delivered on time. So with the access to finance and those specific items, please let's have a direct link so that we work on them, not just answers on the real action, so that we have them delivered. And on the issues of grants, we are in touch with the minister. We are also mobilizing some grants which we will push in that one. Let me reassure you that these productive sectors, agriculture, in livestock and fisheries, they are on top priority of High Excellence, and that is why we, on the side of budgeting, we give them top priority, and we are sure that in long run they will have a boost on our economy and seriously on the per capita income of our people. Thank you very much.
Sometimes moderating can be difficult. Honorable Minister, we thank you very much for the explanation. Now that we are critically running out of time, so I will request the Minister for Livestock. I think he received, after the Minister for Finance, I think he's the second who received more questions. Mheshimiwa, I know you are good at summarizing summaries. If you can use between 3 to 5 minutes, I will be very happy.
Thank you very much, Professor Chibunda, our moderator. And I think everyone in this house, the house is full today. I appreciate this. Shows that everyone is interested with the livestock and fishery sector. Let us clap our hands, please. Thank you very much. So to respond shortly, as a professor asked me, and you know he's a teacher of ours, so when your teacher is asking you for something, you have to make sure that you perform it well. So I will take about 2 to 3, maximum 5 minutes, please. So it is about when are we going to start the program of vaccination? A good question from Comrade Sanare. I call him a senior citizen, you know. So this year, September, just the same month we are in, or maybe October, we are going to start a massive campaign. And hopefully it's going to be commenced by Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, because now we have a vaccine industry, factories here in Tanzania. One is situated in Kibaha called Heista Bioscience, and we have another one in Morogoro. So we think we have to start. And good enough, we have already talking to the regional commissioners. They are all ready, district commissioners, and everyone in the country need to see this is going on. So, Dr. Sanare, good comrade, please, this is to assure you, and we're working closely with my brother, Dr. Mwigulu, to see this is happening. It needs about 60 billion Tanzania shilling to start with, because now we are vaccinated about 20% only of our cows. So we are in need of making sure that we improve this percentage. If we go to the commercial, they are doing it 100%, but a mass of our animals is only 20%. And in order to sell our meat properly outside the country, we must vaccinate, and the world must see us, we are vaccinating. And I'm very thankful to Comrade Mwigulu. He is ready and committed, and you know he is a pastoralist as well. Thank you very much for that. Second, I can take a question about maybe, I know there are a lot of questions, and today I see there are a lot of questions actually. The digitalization, what we have, what is our plan in the livestock and fishery sector, and our good comrade in agriculture ministry. Actually, we are pushing for this because the agenda for agriculture transformation without digitalization, then it is difficult. So those changes, we must go with digitalizing our sectors. So I thank some of the private sector who took the initiatives to work with us, like Heifer International. They have the program called Ayute. This is for youths and technology. You know, they are taking the pictures for cows, like the BBT program that we have. So each and every cow in a different stage. So we'll be taking a picture, the profile of each and every cow, and we take them to the social medias, so to make sure that we have a company known as Vetagra. The Vetagra, they are the main supplier of the fodder, hays in the Kagera region. They are producing themselves, and recently they donated bags of hays to the BBT program. It was about a ton of 2 tons. He donated to the BBT program. So they're doing it, and they are seriously doing it. They are mechanizing, but again, they do outreach program of vaccination privately. If someone has his or her cows at home, they are going there to do, assisting you to vaccinate your cows. So in this massive campaign, thank you very much, in this campaign that we are looking for, we will answer a certain question posed by one of the young men right here, that maybe we want to see more of our young men comes in. 3,500 young men and women will be taken on board during this campaign of a massive vaccination. And actually, this will be a part-time, but they will be given a token, and they will assist the government all over the country to do their job. Thank you, Professor. And lastly, BBT program, as I said during the opening speech, we put aside our budget about 20 billion, both for the livestock and fishery sector. But again, we are asking for more funds to support this program. So we outreach more of the young men and women around the country. Actually, we want to take it down there to the villages, to the districts, to the regions, to be owned by our leaders and the people down there, where you can find the livestock keepers, the fishermen, and all the staffs. So we want to scale it up. The poultry sector is there, ready for youths and women, and we think it's going to be giving us more of the results. So I thank you very much, everyone who attended here. I thank you very much for your opinions and questions. And let me give these 5 minutes that left to my colleague, my brother, Hussein Bashe. And please, moderator, thank you very much kwa kunivumilia. Asante sana.
Asante, Professor. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have a lot of issues. I can see I was trying myself to hide back there so that I should not be here in the front to avoid. One is true, there is a human and animal feed competition. This is a reality. But let me just respond to my sister. It's a high time now, and because Mwigulu is here, the financial institutions are here, it's an important component that our financing model and our business models as investors should be more broader. And with the changes of the competition in the markets, I think if you are developing a feed mill in any sustainable way to make your business resistant to the competition, you must develop an infrastructure or a plan, at least to have an assurance of raw material of at least from your own sources between 20 to 30%. Putting up a facility of 3 billion T shilling, and there is no backward linkages, is a challenge. So I invite you in my office. I will give you a land so that you can start producing your own maize. Sawa? And hautolipia, nitakupa bure ardhi. Nitakupa ekari 5,000 bure. Condition yangu ni na mimi nataka ni wa challenge wawekezaji wa Tanzania. Some of the companies, they own big lands in this country, but they don't use it. They acquire land, very fertile land. Maybe they use that land as a mortgage to finance other trading activities. That's one hand. On the other hand is, you want to buy maize from the Ministry of Agriculture, National Food Reserve, or CPB, come up front before the season, have a contract, forward contracts. We sign the contract, we close the price, we close the mode of payment. Challenge tulionayo ya trading culture yetu ya Kitanzania ni kwamba ni ile ya kuvizia kwamba leo bei imeanguka. Serikali the government can aggregate for you, because for you aggregating 20,000 metric tons is cost for you, because you will be paying interest to the bank, you will be carrying out a lot of overheads, and an idle resources in the warehouse is a cost for you. But the government can afford that. Example, now we are aggregating over 20,000 metric tons from Rwandan government. So if you know your plan that I will need, last year when things were very hard, for the first time in my life since I was in the Ministry of Agriculture last 4 years, I received a letter from Ulega. And Ulega told me, Hussein, I need this number of maize, tonnages of maize. So I told Ulega, my friend, Longido people don't have food. How can I give you cows? So let's plan ahead. Whoever wants maize for animal feed, njoo sasa, tuingie mkataba sasa kwa ajili ya msimu ujao wa kilimo. I will give you that. We will aggregate for you so that you can get the assured. Number two, an Irish, I think she's from Ireland, the component of the environment. Example, yesterday we concluded a deal with a company from Saudi called Salik. We are giving them free land, 5,000 acres to produce alfalfa. But because nami ni mfugaji, I asked them, And then when you produce, where are you taking? We are exporting, you are going to get Forex. I say there is a lot of wafugaji here wants alfalfa. Kwa hiyo we are signing an MOU with them so that 50% of what they will produce remains in the local market and 50% they can export. Sasa, let's discuss the real business here. You are all right when you talk about the financing. The government is doing a lot of effort. We are trying to de-risk the agricultural sector by digitalizing farmers' registration. In the agriculture, in the crop side, we started farmers' registration. Now we are profiling a target of 7 million farmers. We are almost 3.5 million farmers. Shida ya takwimu ameisema ndugu yangu wa Sugeko. Hata Mtanzania mwenyewe kusema mimi na eka 5 anaona kwamba hii ni kosa. Hatoi taarifa sahihi. When the subsidy scheme comes, you say, you have registered 2 acres. So you deserve maybe 6 bags. I say, no, I have 10 acres. Kwa nini hukutoa taarifa? Nilijua hii mna mpango wa kukusanya kodi TRA. Kwa hiyo formalization, the informal culture has always been part of our life. But the global dynamics zinatulazimisha kuanza formalization. Mimi mwenyewe mfugaji, mimi ni mteja wa Ulega. Ikitokea FMD nampigia, wase Ulega turuhusu dawa. Na mimi na shida kama wengine wote. Lakini mimi mwenyewe sikuwa formal waziri mwanzo. Sikuwa formal. It's a cultural issue. So with the global changes, human beings are competing with animal on the feed. There is a huge opportunity for people to come, for people to come and start investing. Kwa wafugaji, unapoanza kuwaza kufuga, ni vizuri uanze kujiuliza swali, chakula changu kiko wapi? We should not, na nataka niwaambie, mmemwona yule kijana pale anasema ana bells 4,000. Ziko Pwani. Mimi nafuga nzega. Maana yake ukisema nizinunue zile, nizisafirishe kutoka Pwani mpaka wapi? How much is that? Lakini it's important now sisi wafugaji tulioko. Na let me tell you this. Mkulima wa mahindi ili apate 1.5 au milioni ya ng'ombe anahitaji kuuza tani ngapi? Professor. Yani ili nipate 1,000,000 nahitaji shilingi ngapi? Nahitaji kilo ngapi za mahindi? Tani nzima. Sijui umenielewa lakini mfuga ng'ombe anaweza akapata 1,000,000 kwa miezi kwa kumfeed vizuri tu. So the return on investment on the livestock sector is higher than crop sector. Ndio ukweli. It's easy to turn around the huku kwenye livestock if the livestock keeper themselves will be ready to do that. Kwa hiyo mimi nataka tu niseme na Ulega yuko hapa na ndugu kuanzia sasa National Food Reserve Agency na CPB and the Ministry of Agriculture in our broader planning on the agricultural transformation, animal feed has come into our equation. Kwa hiyo we will put that. Yellow maize nikwambie, all investors waliokuja ministry who came in the Ministry of Agriculture for yellow maize, they have never been serious investors. Mimi nakuwa honest. They come yule pale Sugeko. Mzee, wewe umesainishwa na wangapi kulima mahindi ya njano? Wewe tu tukuchu. Sasa ka. Hii ndio shida. Ni hivi, the bottom line for any business person is to maximize profit. The first language they will come with is to tell you your maize is expensive. Expensive compared to who? You cannot come and tell me as a farmer to produce a yellow maize and you buy per kg at 500 shilling. Lakini at the same time, there is a Mwigulu who is giving me a contract to produce maize for human consumption at 1,000 shilling or 800 shilling. Where am I going to take? Where am I going? To Mwigulu. Simple. If you want me to improve my yield per hectare, let's have contract. Let's see what are you supporting me to increase my yield per hectare. What is your responsibility as an investor? Is it a long-term or short-term? There is no anyone who will invest in producing for you if there is no long-term contract. Hawezi kuja ananipa mbegu alafu anakaa pembeni. Sioni ananisaidia kwenye irrigation, sioni ananisaidia kwenye bush clearing, sioni ananisaidia kwenye farm preparation, simuoni popote. Anasubiri nimzalishie nimuuzie kwa shilingi 400. To be honest, mimi nakuwa mkweli, ni waziri wa kilimo. I will not be ready to make my smallholder farmers to be poor. They will produce what pays for them. So if you want to invest in the yellow maize subsector, let's sit down and discuss the real deal. I have land, labor is there, time is there. Okay, you want me to get 4 tons per hectare? Where is the capex? Who is supporting on the infrastructure development? Who is? It's not just saying this is a contract. I will buy for you. And then, how long is the contract? Kwa hiyo, hivi vitu lazima tuvijadili in 360 dimension. If we really want to turn around, let's invest. We should not think of being traders. That's the issue. On the climate issue, the real problem is financing. Mimi nataka niwaambie, financial institutions are here. Yesterday I was with Ulega, with the people of World Bank and everyone. I asked them a very simple question. How much of the agricultural portfolio under World Bank is allocated to Africa compared to what you allocate on the first world countries and the Asia? What are the costs of the financing to the agricultural sector to us? Now, hii issue environment, and the Irish lady, she's here. Let me be honest. The world is talking about environment protection, but they are not talking about poverty elevation. Because if I'm a farmer, I work 3 months. After that, I produce 10 bags. I remain idle 8 months. The nearest source of income ni miti yangu hapa. Nitaikata tu. Nitaenda kutengeneza mkaa. Na sisi tutabaki kwenye conferences tunajadili swala la nini? La mazingira. So if we want sustainability on the transformation and putting the equation of environment on the table, let's ask ourselves, where are we going to get the money? Thank you.
Somehow again difficult for the moderator. Mheshimiwa Waziri wa Kilimo kutoka Zanzibar, kulikuwa na swali liliulizwa hapa. Kwa hiyo nikupe tu nafasi uje na wewe kama hilo swali unalo, lakini unaweza kuwasalimia hawa wakajua opportunities za livestock kutoka Zanzibar. Karibu waziri. Basi yeye ametupa nafasi, atakuja kutoa kabisa closing remark alafu na swali atalijibu. Baada ya hapo, Mheshimiwa Waziri wa Blue Economy, unaweza ukawasalimu tu, nikuombe. Karibu.
Thank you very much, moderator. I thank you all for your contribution to this day. It is a very memorial day today. So many questions have been asked and answers have been replied by colleagues here. And I welcome you all. Day after tomorrow, we are going to have an agenda of blue economy. You'll have ample time to discuss with us, and some solution will be given on a blue economy agenda. Thank you very much for your kindly participation in this a very important meeting. Thank you very much.
Sasa niombe, tuna makatibu wakuu wetu wawili hapa. Kuna watu wamechangia kwa maandishi, na hayo maswali nimewakabidhi makatibu wakuu hapa, wanaweza kutolea ufafanuzi kidogo. Sasa nimkaribishe kwanza ndugu yangu Bwana Saif, katibu mkuu wa Wizara ya Kilimo Zanzibar. Karibu kama una lolote, alafu atafuatiwa na Profesa Shamdoi kabla hatujamkaribisha mgeni wetu rasmi kufunga hili tukio. Karibu.
Honorable Ministers, all invited guests, good morning. Actually, I want to respond to the question regarding the production of organic fertilizers. What I want to say, the Ministry of Agriculture in Zanzibar, among other things, they also encourage the issue of organic agriculture. And actually, currently, we are reviewing our working tools, coordinating tools, including our agricultural sector policy of 2002. We now also developing the agriculture transformation strategies. We also developing the separate strategy regarding organic agriculture. Therefore, I would like to say that among the issues concerned or incorporated to the review of the policy as well as the strategies, the issue of organic agriculture. Therefore, I want to call the responsible stakeholders that the ministry is ready to invite her or her firm to the ministry to discuss how we could manage the issue of production of organic fertilizer. We are ready, and the door of the minister is open, the door of principal secretary is open, and we have the special ministry procedures for discussing the new issues like this. Therefore, you are highly welcome for the management of this. In addition, from the 25th of this month up to 27, we have special exhibition regarding organic agriculture in Zanzibar. And where the technical person of the ministry be available, also you are welcome to discuss the issue. Thank you.
Waheshimiwa mawaziri, ndugu participants wote, Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Nimepokea maswali mengi ambayo yamekuja kwa maandishi. Kwa sababu ya muda sitaweza kuyazungumza yote, lakini tutafanya mpango yaweze kuandaliwa majibu, na majibu yatakuwa communicated kwenye kipindi cha TV. Nimeamua kuzungumza Kiswahili kwa sababu kuna watu tumewalipa waweze kufanya translation. Sasa wafanye kazi yao ili na wao waweze kulipwa vizuri. Vitu vichache ambavyo ningependa kuviongea. Moja, ilikuwa ni swala la mchango wa private sector kwenye mifugo. Wanachangia 99% na serikali tuna 1% ambayo ni kupitia NALCO. Tumezungumza swala la promotion ya consumption. Wenzetu ndani ya wizara tuna taasisi inaitwa Tanzania Meat Board, tuna taasisi inaitwa Tanzania Dairy Board. Hawa wana kazi kubwa ya kufanya promotion ya consumption ya nyama, ya consumption ya maziwa. Swala la data liliulizwa, tunazipata wapi? Tanzania Meat Board, Tanzania Dairy Board, na ndani ya Wizara ya Mifugo na Uvuvi tuna website, tuna mtandao, tuna portal inaitwa MIMIS, Mifugo Information Management System.
taarifa zote za nani ameagiza nini, lini, ziko kwenye MIMIS. Kwa hiyo you can access that. Ukikwama niulize mimi, niko accessible na namba yangu unayo. Swala la invasive species ambalo limeulizwa, ni kweli kuna maeneo mengi sana. Ukipita Kongwa mwanzoni kulikuwa na jani fulani hivi ukiliona kama pamba. Tumeanza kazi ya kuliondoa. Waliopita Kongwa hivi karibuni watakubaliana na mimi kwamba sasa tumeigeuza Kongwa kuzalisha majani, na tumeweka pale ili watu waone kwamba na waige kwamba kuna kazi inayoweza kufanyika. Swala la kununua ng'ombe mnadani kwa kuangalia kwa macho, hili nalo tumekuja na mwarobaini wake. Tunanunua weighing scales kwenye minada yote, primary markets, ambazo tutaziinstall kule, ili anayeenda kununua ng'ombe apime, asinunue kwa macho. Tuwaombe off-takers wa kwetu mnaoenda kwenye minada, please insist kununua ng'ombe kwa kilo, sio kwa macho. Swala la genetics, kuimprove breed, wenzetu wamezungumza kwamba wanaleta breeds mpya, lakini zikija kwenda kwa outgrowers inakuwa ni shida kidogo. Tuna perception kwa watu kwanza, na hili niombe wadau wangu wote wa mifugo. Tunakwenda kwa artificial insemination mahali pengine, watu wengine wana perceive vinginevyo. Tukiweza kwenda kwa namna hiyo tutaweza kutoka. Lakini pia breeds zinazoingizwa, tukiingiza madume ya ng'ombe, ni madume makubwa kabisa hivi. Sasa wanapoenda kuwapanda wale ng'ombe wetu wadogo wadogo, wale ng'ombe wakiwa na mimba, wakati wa kuzaa, kuna baadhi yao wanakufa. Kwa hiyo ile inawadita wale wafugaji kutoka kwenye shughuli hiyo. Sasa tuwaeleze ni namna, na wataalamu wangu tumeshaongea, wataalamu wenzangu, namna ya kuendesha zoezi hili ili watu wapate elimu. Ni ng'ombe wa namna gani anaweza kupandishwa kwa ng'ombe wa namna gani, ili tuweze kupata product nzuri. Kuna swala la mwisho nilizungumze la warehouse receipt kwenye mifugo. Hili ni la muhimu. Nadhani tutalichukua kama wizara, tulichakate, tuone namna bora tunavyoweza kulifanyia hivi. Ndugu zangu, maswali yote yaliyoulizwa hapa, comments zote zilizoulizwa hapa, zinaonyesha kwamba Tanzania tuko. Na kushukuru sana moderator, asanteni sana. Maybe just in short, for those ones who might not manage to get what I said, we can talk when we are outside the room. Thank you so much.
Professor Ezekiel Mdoe. I knew him as a forester, but now he's more than a veterinarian, than an animal scientist. Congratulations. So as we come to an end, I'm remaining with only a very small work, that is to invite our guest of honor for making the closing remark for this wonderful occasion. But before I do that, you need somebody to also moderate you. I introduced myself at the beginning. My name is Lafari Chibunda. I work at Sokoine University of Agriculture as a Vice Chancellor. Today, I was really very humbled to just see the products from our university, the good work which they are doing. You have really made our university very, very proud. Lakini wambie, we are doing a lot of work to make sure that Sokoine University will remain a credible university, not only in this country, but beyond our borders. Kwa Kiswahili tumesema hivi: if each admission push your kid to select no any other university but Sokoine University. And lastly, I have just said I work at Chakula University. So if you have an event and you want me to come and moderate, you can see me after this event. Karibu sana Mheshimiwa Waziri.
Your Excellency, Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Let me join to previous speakers by thanking Almighty God enabling me to be a part of this very important gathering name, the African Food System Forum. The forum is being here in beautiful city, Dar es Salaam, brought together various reputable stakeholders on food system around the globe. As much has been said on challenges facing the food system in our continent, especially the low productivities, level and climate change issues. The importance of this forum in our continent is paramount important, and therefore, we as stakeholders of food system, we have the role to play in order to make sure that numerous challenges to the related sectors are properly addressed for the continent to attain sustainable food system. As Minister, the ministry which is embarrassed, the farmers, livestock keepers, foresters, beekeepers, and other stakeholders of Zanzibar, it take opportunity to convey the greetings to you all, and they are keen is following up to the discussion and the deliberation of this forum. I'm pleased to get this opportunity today to officiate the closing this session. This is a great moment to me, hence I sincerely extend my gratitude to organizer of this forum for their consideration. Your Excellencies, many have been discussed today by the previous speakers about issues and the possible strategy that is called be established to achieve sustainable African food system. However, I have some points that is I want to share with you pertaining the livestock development in Zanzibar. Although Zanzibar features with aligned scarcity, but 70% of population directly or indirectly relies on agriculture, inclusive livestock, for livelihood, and it contributed about 22% to GDP. Where livestock industry contributes a share up to 12.9%. Your Excellency, Zanzibar has a great potential for development in livestock sectors due to its climatic condition that is favor the keeping and the production of wide range of livestock species, whereas the indigenous and the exotic poultry and the cattle are well nourished. According to National Agricultural Census of 2020, there is 62,310 households engaged in both crop and livestock production, 34.6%, and 2,149 households, 1.2% engaged in livestock only. So this number is indicate the importance of livestock sectors for economy of the islands. Your Excellency, presence significant number of smallholder of dairy and poultry farmers engaged in livestock industry justifies the importance of the sector in Zanzibar. However, the sector challenged by the high production cost, as we say, caused by scarcity of animal feeds. That's why the government of Zanzibar invited private sectors to invest in animal feed production. Additional, it is evidence that is high demand of livestock products such as dairy, meat and eggs is contributed by increasing local population and the tourist market. Is a recognition of this potential. The government has committed to address the existing shortcoming and promote medium to large scale livestock investment that would lead to increasing livestock production and the farmers' income and hence achieving food security and nutrition. Your Excellencies, significant efforts have been made by the government toward developing the livestock sectors, including establishment of various development projects such as SSP, PADEP, JP5, Haifa International, and others. So organizing training program for livestock extension officers on nutrition, artificial insemination services, and animal health services and budget allocation livestock initiatives. Through these few mentioned government effort, the sector has realized remarkable upward change in milk production from 5 liters per cow to 10 liters per cow. Yet this production is below intended average production per cow per day. Therefore, this scenario relieves strong message that is more effort, collaboration, and engagement are required to uplift livestock production. For this short summary, thank you a lot. Kazi endelee.
Sasa housekeeping, Ijumaa tutakuwa na similar event hapa, lakini hiyo itakuwa ni Blue Economy and Fisheries. Kwa napenda niombe all those who are in this room today, let us be here also on Friday. Friday, I'm told it will be more exciting than what we had today, but don't miss it. But on the same, tomorrow, we shall have another event, probably in this same room. Itakuwa ni BBT Legacy Program. So all the youth, those who are in BBT, those who are intending to join, lakina wote tulioko hapa, you are also invited. Na niombe tuje tuunge mkono mawaziri wetu hawa watakuwepo. Na mwisho, kwa sababu tunasubiriwa kwenye another session ambayo wote tunatakiwa tuende. The guest of honor, she's already there. Ila niombe wale wote waliokaa vitu vya mbele, waheshimiwa mawaziri, Mheshimiwa Miguru.
Mimi naitwa Joel Nanauka na mimi ni certified life coach, nikijikita kwenye kufundisha watu eneo la personal development. Kitaaluma mimi ni mhasibu kama ninyi, nifanya degree ya kwanza kwenye uhasibu chuo kikuu cha Dar es Salaam. Ila siku practice nilikimbia baada ya kugundua sio sehemu yangu sana, Kwa hiyo nilibadilisha kidogo mwelekeo. Kwa hiyo nafurahi kuwa na wasibu wenzangu ambao wana practice pia. Ninaendesha kampuni inaitwa Africa Success Academy ambayo najishughulisha kwenye mafunzo as a corporate training, coaching pamoja na mentoring. Lakini pia ni mwandishi wa vitabu. Nimeandika vitabu 39 kwenye maeneo mbalimbali ya maisha na kujiendeleza kama nilivyosema kwenye elimu ya personal development. So kwa kwangu hapa leo naona ni privilege kubwa, na theme nimeipenda sana, leading without a title, kuongoza bila kutumia cheo au bila kutumia nafasi. Na ametueleza kidogo kwa ufupi katika theme ambayo nilipewa, nilitwist kidogo ili iunganike vizuri na kile ambacho tunataka kufanya. Kwa kama unaandika theme utaandika packaging yourself for success. Packaging yourself for success. Kwa sababu tunapozungumza integrity, tunapozungumza making promises, tunazungumza kujipackage, namna gani tuweze tukajipackage kwa ajili ya mafanikio ambayo tunataka katika maisha yetu. Kwa hiyo tunasema success ni more than what you do. Success is most importantly who you are. Mafanikio ni zaidi ya kile unachokifanya. Ndio maana watu wawili wanaweza wakawa wanafanya vitu vinavyofanana lakini wakapata matukio tofauti. Ndio maana wote tunasema hakuna biashara nzuri wala hakuna kazi nzuri inayomfanikisha mtu, ila kuna mtu sahihi ndani ya kazi na kuna mtu sahihi ndani ya biashara inayofanyika. Kwa hiyo tunapozungumza generally ni kwamba tukiweza kujipackage vizuri sisi wenyewe tunaweza tukapata yale mafanikio ambayo tunayataka. Sasa from my experience, kuna aina za taaluma ambazo zinapata changamoto kubwa sana kwenye kujifunza, na hasa kujifunza masomo au vitu ambavyo haviko katika mfumo rasmi wa shule. Wa kwanza ni wanasheria, lawyers. Na simply ni kwa sababu tayari wameshaitwa learned lawyers. Kwa hiyo ni watu wanaojua tayari. Wa pili ni madaktari. Inakuwa ngumu sana kwa sababu wanaitwa kwa title yao, doctor. Watatu ni maengineer, wahandisi, na wanne ni wahasibu. Kwenye experience yangu katika interaction, yani makundi ambayo ni taaluma ambazo zinapata shida sana kuwa na flexibility kwenye kupata maarifa yanaweza kutusaidia kufanikiwa katika kile tunachokifanya. Na tafiti nyingi zimeshaonyesha kwamba tukishajifunza darasani tunapata asilimia ndogo sana ya kile ambacho kinatakiwa kwenye maisha yetu ili tufanikiwe kwa kiwango kikubwa sana. Kwa hiyo katika vitu ambavyo tutaviangalia leo, sehemu kubwa ni yale mambo ambayo tunasema hatuyapati sana kwenye mfumo rasmi wa darasani, lakini ni ya muhimu. Sasa particularly tukizungumzia wanawake, what is happening to women around the globe au katika taaluma zetu. Taasisi moja inaitwa Special K kwa nchini Uingereza ilifanya tafiti kagundua kwamba katika wanawake 10 wanaondoka duniani kwa maana ya kufariki, wanawake 8 wanaondoka wakiwa hawajatimiza malengo ya maisha yao. Wanaondoka wakiwa hawaja maximize potential ambazo wanazo. Manake wanaondoka na vitu ambavyo walitakiwa waweze kuvifanya, kuviishi na kuviaccomplish walipokuwa hapa duniani, lakini kwa sababu moja au nyingine walishindwa kuvifanya hivyo vitu. Kwa maana yake hapa tukihesabu pengine wanawake 10, in average kuna wanawake 8 katika 10 tulioko hapa leo, ni kwamba wasipofanya kitu cha ziada wataondoka wakiwa watu wa kawaida, ingawa tayari wana potential za kuwafanya wao wasiwe watu wa kawaida. Lakini katika makampuni 500 ambao yanaitwa Fortune's company in the world, ni 2% tu ya makampuni duniani sasa hivi yanaongozwa na wanawake. Kwa maana yake unaweza ukaona ni kitu kimojawapo mwanamke kuwa smart, lakini ni kitu kingine kabisa mwanamke kupanda kwenye rank ya juu katika kitu anachokifanya, kwa sababu anahitaji zaidi ya competence, anahitaji kitu cha ziada. Baadhi yake tutaviangalia hapa leo. Sasa Harvard Business Review waliwahi kufanya utafiti wao na ambao waliuchapisha, uliofanywa na Dr. Jack Zenga na Joseph Folkman. Waliangalia wakagundua kwamba mwanadamu wa kawaida ili awe kiongozi mzuri katika field yake ana attributes 19 ambazo anatakiwa awe nazo. Waliofanya utafiti wakagundua in average wanawake wengi wana attributes in average 17. Kwa wanawake wengi wanazikosa 2 tu. katika eneo la uongozi. Lakini cha ajabu kilichokuja kuonekana ni kwamba wanawake wengi wameshindwa kuwa viongozi wazuri au kufikia influence ya kuwa viongozi katika field zao kwa sababu ya deficiencies mbalimbali. Na mojawapo ni kujiandarate wao wenyewe, kujiona kwamba hawawezi au kujiona kwamba pengine hawana uwezo wa kuperform kitu fulani. Katika research ilionekana kwamba wanaume kikawaida huwa tunajirate 33% above our true ability. Wanaume tunajirate 33% above our ability, lakini wanawake wanajirate always below their ability. Ndio maana ni rahisi kwa mwanaume ambaye anaona kuna kazi imetangazwa ina vigezo 8 na yeye ana 4 aka-apply kazi. Lakini mwanamke ukiwa na vigezo 8 akagundua na vigezo 5 anasema hii kazi is qualified. So hii ikathibitisha kwamba kuna kitu cha ziada ambacho mtu yote ambaye anataka kufanikiwa kwa kujipackage kwenye success, especially mwanamke, anatakiwa akifanye ili aweze kupata matokeo ambayo anayataka. Sasa ilikuja kugundulika kwamba wanawake wengi wanaanza kujiamini wakiwa na miaka 40. Yakishafikia miaka 40 ndio anaanza kujiona kuamini katika uwezo wake, kuamini kwenye ndoto zake, kuamini kwenye malengo yake, kuamini kwenye potential ambayo anayo. Sasa disadvantage yake ni kwamba anakuwa amebakiwa na umri mdogo sana wa kukaa katika kazi. Kwa maana yake labda pengine kama anafanya kazi mpaka miaka 60, anakuwa amebakiza miaka 20 ya kufanya kazi. Na hii inaendana sana na falsafa ya mwanafalsafa mmoja anaitwa Daniel Emen, ambaye alisema watu wengi sana wanapozaliwa mpaka wanapofikisha miaka 18 na kuelekea mpaka 39, huwa kila wanachofanya huwa wanajiuliza watu wataonaje, watu watasemaje. Kwa maisha anayoishi, nguo anazovaa, gari anaendesha, mahali anapokaa, anajiuliza tu watu watanionaje, watu wasema. Anakuwa na sensitive na other people's opinion. Akishafikisha miaka 40 kuelekea miaka 59, anaanza kusema I don't care, waseme wasiseme, shauri yao, mimi nitavaa ninachotaka, nitasuka ninavyotaka, nitaishi ninavyotaka, haya ni maisha yangu. By the time anafikisha miaka 60, anagundua hakuna mtu aliyekuwa anafuatilia maisha yake. Kila mtu alikuwa busy tu na matatizo yake kwenye jamii na matatizo yake ya kifamilia. So wako wanawake wengi sana ambao ni wako sensitive na opinion za watu. Matokeo yake ni kwamba wanaishi katika kiwango cha chini, wakiishi katika kupendezesha watu wengine, wakisahau kupambania ndoto ambazo wanazo. Na ndio ule utafiti wa kwanza kwamba wengi sasa wanakufa wakiwa hawajatimiza, hawajamaximize potential ambazo wanazo. So kuna key areas ambazo ni muhimu kuziangalia unapotaka kujipackage kwenye area yako yoyote ile unapotaka kufanikiwa. Na kuna maeneo 7 ambayo unatakiwa uyaangalie, na nitapita kwa haraka kwa sababu mengi tayari yameshazungumzwa kwa mapana katika hizi siku ambazo umekuepo hapa. Eneo la kwanza ni mental health. Utajiri wako unaoambatana na akili. Kwa sasa hivi hili jambo limezungumzwa sana. Na ukweli ni kwamba wako watu wengi ambao ukiwaangalia unaona wako sawa, lakini ukweli ni kwamba hawako sawa. Sasa lazima uwe mtu ambaye una take care of your mental health, kwa sababu value ya brain yako ndio value ya career yako. Ndio maana kwenye sensa watu hesabu watu ambao wana mental disorder, kwa sababu sio resource katika nchi. Kwa maana yake nikishindwa kuweka uwekezaji mzuri kwenye ufahamu wangu na kutunza ufahamu wangu, kwa maana afya ya akili, kuna uwezekano mkubwa sana sitaweza kufanikiwa. Na hapa tunazungumzia issues za stress management na mambo yanayofanana nayo, na emotional management kwa ujumla wake. Eneo la pili ni health, your physical health. Nimsikia Mama Zura aligusia kidogo wakati anazungumza hapa asubuhi kwamba ni muhimu ku take care of your health, kwa sababu malengo yote ulionayo yanabebwa na mwili wako. Longevity ni ya muhimu, umri wako wa kuishi ni wa muhimu katika kuhakikisha umekamilisha malengo yako. Na kitu ambacho ningependa nikukumbushe ni kwamba usipojijali, possibly hakuna mtu atakaye kujali. Kuna wakati nilifanya utafiti wa kuangalia watu ambao kwenye familia zao ni tegemezi, yani wanategemewa, either kwa sababu ni watoto wa kwanza au kwa sababu wamefanikiwa katika namna fulani ya kimaisha. Kwenye kila familia kuna watu wanainuliwa wakiwa kama ni nguzo za hizo familia. na mara nyingi wanainuliwa kupitia vipaji, au watapata elimu zaidi ya watu wengine, au watafanikiwa kwenye eneo la kifedha zaidi kuliko watu wengine. Watu hao ukiwachunguza, wengi wao huwa waishi muda mrefu, na sababu ni moja tu, ni kwa sababu anabeba mizigo mikubwa kwa muda mrefu, akiamini kuna siku atakuja kupumzika au ataambiwa na ndugu zake apumzike, na anakuja kugundua hakuna siku mtu yote anamwambia apumzike. Wanaambia watu, the problem of being a lion in the jungle is that no one will ask you in the morning how are you doing. Ukiwa simba katika mwitu, hakuna mnyama mwingine anamuuliza simba unaendeleaje, kwa sababu huwa tunaamini simba haumwi, simba hachoki, simba haishui nguvu, simba hana matatizo. So if you are the strongest person in your family, hakuna mtu atapata muda wa kukuuliza unaendeleaje afya yako. Hakuna mtu atakuuliza kama umefanya check up. Hakuna mtu atakuuliza ulimwambia jana unaumwa, utashangaa. Nobody make a follow up, kwa sababu wanaamini wewe ni mtu imara na mtu hodari. Matokeo yake ni nini? You'll spend a good time of your life kwenye investment ya watu wengine, afu utagundua wewe huja invest kwako, na muda unapohitaji watu wengine hawatajitoa kama wewe ulivyojitoa kwako, alafu utalaumu na kulaani. Sasa the problem sio za kwao, problem ni ya kwako. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu human beings are selfish. Ndio maana sio kila unayemfanyia kitu chema utarajie naye atakufanyia kitu chema. Sisi wote hapa tuna selfish nature. Ndio maana picha za hii tukio zikitoka, ukitumia group photo, picha ya kwanza kuangalia itakuwa ni ya kwako kwenye ile picha. Kama umetokea vizuri utaiposti bila kujali mwenzako mdomo umekaa pembeni. That shows human beings we are selfish. So watu wako hivyo. Kwa hiyo if you don't take care of your health, no one else will take care of your health. Usipopumzika hakuna mtu atakupa nafasi ya kupumzika. You need to make yourself a priority when it comes to physical health. Eneo la tatu ni personal growth, kujikuza we mwenyewe katika maarifa na ujuzi. Tafiti zinaonyesha kwamba kwa sasa hivi half life ya knowledge ni miaka 2.5 mpaka 3. Chochote ambacho unakijua sasa hivi baada ya miaka 2 mpaka 3 pengine kitakuwa obsolete au kitakuwa kimepunguza thamani yake sana. Uwezo wako wa kujiongeza katika maarifa ndio ambao unakufanya uwe relevant katika kazi unayoifanya. Ni hatari sana kama mara ya mwisho kusoma kitabu cha kujifunza ni pale ulipofanya mtihani wako wa mwisho. Maana yake if you don't grow in personal development, unahatarisha relevance yako na value yako katika kitu unachokifanya. Watu ambao wanategemea experience peke yake na traditional ya kufanya vitu huwa hawaleti matokeo makubwa sana. So you need to set time aside. Namna gani unaweza ukaimprove personal development yako? Na in average tunasema mtu ambaye anataka kufanikiwa at least atenge 30 minutes to 1 hour daily za kupata kitu kipya cha kujifunza. Kwa sababu in average human being ambaye anataka kukua at least anasoma kitabu kimoja cha personal development kwa mwezi. So that can be seen as a small, but over a period of time difference yake ni kubwa sana na mtu ambaye ajisomei au aongezi maarifa katika kile ambacho anakifanya. Eneo lingine ni your environment. As environment tunazungumza both social environment, tunazungumza physical environment. Chochote ambacho kinakuzunguka huwa kina madhara kwenye maisha yako. Kina madhara kwenye maamuzi unayofanya, kina madhara kwenye vision ulionayo, kina madhara kwenye kujiamini uliko nako. Kuna watu wengi leo ambao kwa sababu ya mazingira waliokulia hawezi kuwa na dream kubwa kwenye maisha yao. Ndio maana leo ukimtafuta mtoto aliyeko kijijini ambaye hajawahi kufika mjini, pengine mtu kubwa atakayokuambia nataka nimiliki bodaboda. Siku kimleta mjini ataanza kuchange vision kwa sababu environment ina influence the kind of vision you have. Juzi nilikuwa naongea na kijana mmoja akaniambia mimi kwa sija kufika Dar es Salaam kwa mara ya kwanza nimefika Dar es Salaam ni siku nilipokuja chuoni. Alikuwa amekuja kusoma ardhi. Miaka yake yote amesoma huko Mbeya na ni kijijini mpaka sekondari. Akasema dream kubwa niliyokuwa nayo ilikuwa ni kuwa dereva wa lori. Ndio dream kubwa alikuwa nayo. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu kuna mtu alikuwepo pale kijijini ambaye ni dereva wa lori na alikuwa anasimulia anavyosafiri kwa lori kwenda mataifa mbalimbali ya jirani. Kwa akajua na yeye akiendesha lori atakuwa hivyo. So mazingira unayo interact nayo huwa yana affect sana mambo ambayo unayaona na vitu ambavyo unaviamini kwenye maisha yako. Lakini eneo lingine ni relationship, mahusiano na watu. Mtu yote ambaye unakutana naye anakuathiri either negative or positive. There is no neutral interaction with people. Kuna watu leo misimamo ulionayo ni kwa sababu ya aina ya watu ambao ulikutana nao. Kuna watu leo kukata tamaa uliko nako ni kwa sababu ya aina ya watu ambao ulikutana nao. Kuna watu inspiration ambao unayo ni kwa sababu ya aina ya watu ambao umekutana nayo. Human energy is contagious, huwa inaambukiza. Ndio maana ukikaa na mtu ambaye ni toxic, mtu ambaye kila wakati anazungumza kukata tamaa, kushindwa, kulalamika, hautahitaji kujifunza na wewe kulalamika. Na wewe ghafla tu utajikuta umeanza kulalamika. Unaamka asubuhi unaanza kulalamikia mawingu, upepo, jua. Unajikuta tu uko hivyo kwa sababu tayari umeshajifunza. Kuna siku moja nilikuwa nasoma kwenye Instagram, mtu mmoja akasema, tayari nimeshakunywa chai, nimeshiba, sasa ngoja nitafute mtu wa kumlaumu. So utajua wakati gani catch up the energy and feelings of doing that. So people you're hanging around matters a lot in your life. Wanasema if you hang around 5 broke people, just know you are the 6th one. Kwa hiyo ukihang around, kwa sababu research by Jeff Olsen inaonyesha kwamba wewe ni wastani wa watu 5 ambao wanakuzunguka. Kwa sasa hivi nikikuuliza who are your 5 best friends, rafiki zako 5 bora unaowajua wewe, my best friend wakague. Na ili mimi niliposoma miaka hiyo iliyopita nilijifunza hii, nikafanya ka research kidogo, nikaona ina ukweli sana kwamba wastani wako kwenye maisha, maisha yako level yake ni wastani wa watu 5 ambao wanakuzunguka. In terms of opportunities utakuwa nazo, in terms of thinking capacity, in terms of connection utakazokuwa nazo, in terms of financial ability utakayokuwa nayo. Na mimi nilifanya exercise kwenye finance. Nikachukua watu wangu 5 nikamuuliza kila mmoja monthly how much do you earn. Nikapata za kwao, nikajumlisha, nikatafuta average. Average haikucheza sana mbali na kipato changu cha wakati huo cha mwezi. Kwa hiyo angalia rafiki zako. Ndio maana wasema if you're the best in a group, it's also time to leave. Ukijiona kila siku ndio unakopwa, sio swala kuchekelea. Maana umezungukwa na watu ambao wanakuvuta chini badala ya kukupush kwenda juu. So you need to expand the territory of the people you're interacting with. Kwa sababu kila mmoja wetu hapa ana limiting beliefs, mambo ambayo haamini kama anaweza kufanikiwa. Na hatujui wakati gani tuliyakatch hayo mambo. Na ziko authority figures kwenye maisha yetu ambayo huwa wanatuingizia misimamo na vitu ambavyo tunaviamini throughout our lives. Wa kwanza ni wazazi wetu. Kuna wengi hapa ukiangalia pattern ya maisha yako inafanana sana na wazazi wako. Na usipofanya marekebisho, maana yake kile unachokiona kwa wazazi wako ndio yatakuwa maisha yako na ndio yatakuwa watoto wako. Kwa sababu kwenye kila familia lazima atokee mtu ambaye atabadilisha pattern ya familia yake ambao namna walivyoishi. So wazazi wetu wametu-influence tunachoamini, wametu-influence tunachokiona, wametu-influence misimamo yetu pia. Kuna watu leo hawajaamini simply kwa sababu waliwahi kudharauliwa na wazazi wao. Kuna watu waliambiwa wewe ni boga tu. Kwanza wewe hatukukutarajia, tulishangaa tu ghafla umezaliwa. Kuna watu walikataliwa pengine na baba yao. Mpaka leo hiyo impact ipo katika umri wao mkubwa. Kutana na mtu mmoja na miaka 40 ambaye anasema kinachomtesa sasa hivi ni kwa sababu aliwahi kumtafuta baba yake, alipofika kwa baba yake still akamkataa. Kwa hiyo ameona kama dunia nzima imemkataa, anajiona kama vile hana thamani. So it is important to find out vitu gani ambavyo vimekushape wewe wa leo. Kuna watu ambao hawajithamini si kwa sababu hawathaminiwi leo, hawajithamini kwa sababu hawakuwahi kuthaminiwa na wazazi wao. Research inaonyesha kwamba mtoto mdogo anapozaliwa mpaka anapofikisha miaka 5 huwa anakuwa ameambiwa neno hapana, acha au hauwezi na mama yake mara 1040. Na anakuwa ameambiwa neno ndio au unaweza mara 5000. Kwa anakuwa ameambiwa neno negative mara 8 zaidi kuliko alivyoambiwa maneno positive. Na hapa sisi ni mashahidi. Watoto wetu kule nyumbani ni mara ngapi tumekaa nao na kuambia kwamba wewe utakuja kuwa mtu mkubwa. Ni mara ngapi tumewaambia na kuamini sana your future is bright. Ni pale tu akishika pochi yetu tunamwambia acha. Akishika glasi acha. Akishika funguo acha. Akishika simu acha. Anakuwa akiamini kwamba yeye ni mtu ambaye hayuko accepted. Sasa ni kitu kidogo lakini kinakuwa built up kwenye subconscious mind. Na wako watu wengi ambao suffering ambazo wanakutana nazo leo ni kwa sababu ya authority figure ya wazazi. Lakini wa pili ni walimu wako. Kuna mambo mengi ambayo walimu wako walishawahi kukuambia ambayo mengine uliyaamini. Na mengine ni subconscious, ukutaka kuyaamini lakini yanakuathiri mpaka leo. Kuna watu kilichowafanya wasijue hesabu darasani ni kwa sababu tu mwalimu aliwaambia tu kwamba ni wewe na hesabu ni mbingu na ardhi. Jaribu mambo mengine. Mpaka leo they don't believe that they can do well kwenye mathematics. Kwa hiyo whatever mwalimu wako alikuambia kinaweza kuwa kinapata. Kwa hiyo lazima uandu hivi vitu kadiri umri wako unavyozidi kwenda. Wengine ni kazini kwako. Kuna watu wameathirika na maneno ya mabosi wao. Kuna watu tangu kazi yao ya mwisho baada ya kuwa fired au kuwa terminated hawajawahi kujiamini tena kama wanaweza kufanya vizuri. Kuna watu walifukuzwa kwa aibu, kuna watu walikuwa terminated kwa kuambiwa hawana competence, na mpaka leo kile kitu ingawa ni cha miaka mingi sana, lakini bado kimeendelea kuwa na madhara na athari katika maisha yao. Na wengine ni viongozi wa dini. Wanasema we believe so much in our religious leaders, kiasi kwamba chochote ambacho wanatuambia most of the time we take it as a command from God. So it is important to know what you believe and whom you follow with your faith, kwa sababu wana mantiki ya kubadilisha kabisa hata uwezo wako wa kufikiri. Mnafahamu kilichotokea kwa Mackenzie Kenya, right? Yes. Mnafahamu akina Kibwetele what happened, right? So it is very important to be conscious of your faith and your belief. Nashukuru amegusia hapa Edmund kwenye issue of faith na finance, right? Lakini last ni ya tano ni partners wako au partner wako au ningesema spouse au mtu ambaye uko naye kwenye mahusiano. Kuna wanawake wengi sana ambao kilichoua ndoto zao za miaka mingi ni kwa sababu tu hakuna mtu aliwaamini, hasa watu ambao ni mapartners wao. Kuna story moja nilisha kusoma ya dada mmoja anaitwa Deb Makomba ambaye alikuwa na ndoto kuwa mwandishi wa vitabu, na baada ya kuolewa mume wake akamwambia hawezi hiyo kazi, hakuwa anamuona kama anaweza kufanikiwa kwenye ile eneo. So what she did, akaamua kuachana na ndoto, lakini every time